Dana White and the UFC is expressing interest in signing Aaron Pico and potentially Patricio PITBULL. Of course, Patricio PITBULL has been in a public dispute with the PFL for the past couple of months. He now has been released from his Bellator/PFL contract. Meanwhile, Aaron Pico is another free agent under the Bellator PFL banner. Recently, PFL totally took over all of the Bellator publicity, all of the publishing, all of the media rights, all of everything that goes into Bellator MMA is now the PFL. So Aaron Pico, a former Bellator fighter, Patricio PITBULL, a former Bellator fighter, are now both free agents. And of course, they're two of the biggest guys in Bellator, two of the best guys in Bellator, two of the best guys in PFL now, but they are free agents. Don Davis recently spoke with Mike Heck about this on a public forum type debate, podium type thing. I don't know what you call it, whatever it was. He was on a video interview with Mike Heck. So, of course, this brought up more and more questions. The more Don Davis opens his mouth, the more questions need to be answered because they keep getting brought up. All these issues keep getting brought up every time Don Davis opens his mouth. So, of course, now this has reached the ears of the UFC, MMA media, and now Dana White has been asked a question about it. Let's take a listen.
Outside of tonight, Patricio PITBULL, the longtime Bellator champion, he got an unconditional release from PFL, and he says he badly wants to fight in the UFC. Are you interested in bringing him into the featherweight division?
I don't know. I'll talk to the boys about that, and we'll see where we're at.
Another one is Aaron Pico. Ali Abdelaziz said his exclusive negotiation window, I think, ends this week.
I definitely know the boys are interested in him.
Outside of tonight, Patricio.
So, of course, Patricio PITBULL is at the tail end of his career. He's about 37, 38 years old at this point. Aaron Pico, still a young guy, still a dangerous guy. He's got power in his hands, good wrestling. Aaron Pico is one of these, but this dude's legit, and he has reached the ears of the UFC matchmakers, and of course, you would want a piece of that action. Don Davis, though, like I spoke about a minute ago, he told Mike Heck that he doesn't believe Aaron Pico has any fights left on his contract, and he believes he is in a negotiation window with the PFL as of right now. This was last Thursday. How do you not know this as the guy in charge of the PFL? This is one of your biggest, brightest, younger stars in the PFL, in Bellator, whatever you want to call it. And, of course, they lay it out for us right here. Pico's 28 years old, 13-4, and on a 3-fight win streak. His last fight was February 24th, 2024. That's almost a year ago. This guy has not fought, and he's 28 years old, and he's hungry to get back in the octagon ring, whatever it is. Pico right now is a free agent. This is Ali Abdelaziz. I'm sure the UFC wants him. I'm sure PFL wants to keep him. Pico's a businessman. Pico likes money. UFC, of course, he would love to become a UFC champion, but if the PFL can offer a deal that he can't refuse, of course, he's going to take it. And this is what a lot of the PFL fighters that have come over from the UFC have said. It's all about the money, and they're offering me good fights, good contracts, but it doesn't always work out. And as we've seen with Patricio, they can't always offer you the fights that you want. So, not just Pico and PITBULL, but Yaroslav Amosov recently was released from Bellator PFL, and he says that he has fight news coming via Instagram. He posted this picture outside American Top Team. Obviously, he trains with them down there. This guy was on a hell of a run. I think he was 27-0 in Bellator before falling to Jason Jackson in their title fight. This guy's from Ukraine, went over, fought in Ukraine, over there in the war going on. Crazy stuff from Yaroslav Amosov. He says that he's getting back in the fight game, and he's got some special announcements coming. This is huge because this would be another big signing for the UFC, and that's what I probably imagine this announcement has to do with. So what do you guys think about this? Dana White, definitely interested in Aaron Pico, maybe Patricio PITBULL, potentially Yaroslav Amosov, all former highly ranked fighters in Bellator, two of them being champions, one of them being long-reigning champion. Yaroslav Amosov also been around the block a while, and Aaron Pico, guy's still young, hungry, wants to become a world champion.